Welcome to the Sk8LikeYou podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's Mark, Sk8LikeYou podcast, Sk8LikeYou.com. I am here with the one and only Legacy Skates, Brandon Nix. How you doing, man?
Hey, buddy. It's good to see you, man. You doing okay today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I am super excited.
Well, thanks for having me, man. This is the first time ever doing something like this, so it's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, well, and I tell you what, for a lot of people I talk to, it's their first time doing it. This is I'm only a pro in the sense that I've only done this like 20 times or 30 times. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I really have no clue what I'm doing, but I am not surprised. Okay. I'm going to go right into this because I'm not surprised to hear you say that. Not because look, you more than have the talent to qualify to be on a podcast, to be followed by 1 billion people, but
oh, man,
you don't really put yourself out there a lot, like
right,
with stuff like that. Is that a conscious decision? Is that just you're too busy? What
it's really just a conscious decision. I mean, when I go to the rink and you get the skates on and stretch for about 10 minutes. All my buddies and friends say I'm out there for half an hour stretching. So I mean, the more the merrier,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just get out there and do it, man. And if somebody wants to catch a video and post it up, then that's just fine by me, man. But I've never really, I really can't think of maybe 1 or 2 videos that I've ever posted pretty much on my own,
Yeah.
And I'll get a notification on my phone or something, and it'll say, hey, Brandon Nix, this and that and that and this. I'm like, oh, what we got? How'd it turn out?
Tagged you. Yeah. Because I know every social media account that you have, I look and like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. So I gotta wait for somebody else to put it up there, man. But it is, dude. Have you? It's okay if you haven't. Have you listened to any of these episodes at all? Or?
Actually, today I was scanning them a little bit. I seen you had Rachel Mills on there, and I saw you had Michelle on there, and a few of them here and there. But I really just stay really busy. If I'm not at work, I'm at the house working in the fields, and if not that, I'm trying to do some roller skating.
Well, it's all good, man. I mean, the only reason I even ask you honestly is because I wasn't aware if you were aware how much I bring your name up on this thing. Seriously, I really, really do, man. Like, anyone that listens or on the regular, there's kind of like this repeated theme that I'm always talking about, which is I love watching skaters that can never be mistaken for anybody else. That like basically bring like this individualistic style. And you have that in spades, dude. Like,
man, I appreciate it, buddy.
Do you remember the first time you put on skates?
Yeah, 5 years old, man. I was 5 years old. I was actually talking about that with my mother today because I told her I was doing a podcast thing.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Well, your guess is as good as mine." We just get to chit chatting. But anyway, I went to the Boys and Girls Club, when I was real little, and you had a choice to either go to the movies or go skating. And it was like a $5 ticket, I told Mom, I said, I want to go skating. So that was it. And I put them old tater skins on and hoop hollering, getting with it. And from there on out, man, I just kind of started, going a lot more here and there. And it's just been nice, dude. I don't know what it's about, man. You just get out there, you just get lost, you just get free. It's nothing like it that I've ever really experienced. It's so freeing.
Dude, would you say did you kind of know like, oh wow, I really like this from like day one of putting on skates, or was that something that just kind of evolved, or?
It was something that just kind of evolved. I was so young, I didn't really know what I was getting into at that moment. But I said from when I put them on, and I just kind of hobbled around and got used to it. And next thing you know, I started out on quads when I was 5, but maybe 6 or 7, I went to inlines and I got real comfortable with that.
Okay.
And from there, I just kept on with it. But I do remember a very significant shift or change in my skating style from when I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
There was a guy, his name was Patrick. I can't remember his last name, but his name was Patrick, and he was a jam skater, and he was in the middle of the floor
All right.
at my local rink, Skaterama, which I didn't get to skate at it when it was Skaterama too much. So it was mainly the Great Skate days, before it had shut down.
Okay.
But man, I saw him out there getting it, and he was I can't think of the skate moves and all. He was doing crazy legs and all this and that, and I mean, I want to do that, but I had inlines on, so how do I do that? And he had quads, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go that route, and so I asked Mama, and she hooked me up with a nice good little pair of quads, and I went out there and I had the wheels, the little fat wheels and all, and get out there and get to skating, man, and next thing you know, my feet just went whoosh, just whoa, I couldn't control it, and I felt a little out of my element. So I'm sure I know you've noticed it, and many people, noticed it. But I've actually, at that point in time, I said, well, let me just put some inline wheels on my quad. Let me see how that works, And it shortened up the platform a whole lot. So it was a lot more unstable, if you know how to say it. It wasn't as stable as the regular quad wheels. Yeah. When I put them wheels on, dude, and it just took off from there, and just kind of developed my own style with it, and learned a lot from Patrick and other people who were influencing me around it. And just from the music, man, it's just nothing like it, dude. You get out there, and especially when I love it. My favorite part about jam skating, freestyle skating, shuffle skating, all that. I wouldn't call myself just a jam skater or a freestyle skater or this and that. I'm more of like a smorgasbord. It's like whatever the song calls for, and then when the song hits, you get you recognize it, and you don't know it sneaks up on you, you're like, oh man, you get chill bumps on your neck and in your arms, and it's over with, just go out there and give it y'all and try to catch a break in between, see how it goes,
So, but this guy, Patrick, he was like kind of the first one that kind of inspired you to, like, you just saw what you were looking at and you're like, I want to do that too. Yeah.
I wanted to put, I wanted to put more into it besides just going around the rink and cutting up with my friends and this and that. And man, we just, like I said, from seeing him do it, and he had a couple of his buddies doing it, like, I want to do that, and try it out. And, got some of those moves, and I've kind of developed them and made my own style because, I'm so long and lanky. I've just be throwing my body here and there and all kinds of places, but
yeah, man. So when's the last time you saw this Patrick guy?
Oh man, it's been probably 15 years.
No kidding.
I would say 15 years.
Wow.
But last time I saw him was at Hollywood Connections in Columbus, Georgia. So he was doing good, man.
Okay. So, all right. So was there like any other element that like similar to this that you were doing? Were you ever a break dancer? Were you ever anything like that? Or just skating was kind of like where you found rhythm? Like what?
Skating was where I found my rhythm.
Okay.
It's just never really had anything to do with the outside. I mean, before skating, I'm always outside. I've never spent any time hardly inside or whatnot. I'm out there building tree houses or cutting the grass or weed eating, doing something physical, and this was just another way for me to burn energy and but I never really thought of it like that. I've always you go there and you hit it, and you have a great workout and you don't even know it, man. I mean, now as I'm getting older, my knees are telling on me, but other than that, it's never felt like a chore. It's always, it's like going to the flea market. You'll never know what you find. And it's the same thing with the music. You never know what's going to come on, different DJs, different playlists or whatnot. That's what I look forward to is the unexpected, all of a sudden, boom, burst of energy,
Absolutely. So everything that you're talking about, you're reading my mail as far as, kind of like your approach to this thing. I mean, like, I would bet too that you're probably the kind of person, like, you're driving around. This is what happens to me, at least. Like, I'll be driving somewhere, I'll be in the house, whatever, like, music on, and I hear something, And I'm like, oh yeah. Like I'll literally go through like visualizing like myself and how I'd move to it. And
Yep.
like, oh, I'd do this here and there. Does that happen for you? Do you do that? Do you
Oh,
experience
oh
that?
yeah, dude. All the time. I mean, especially like if I'm watching somebody's live,
Mm.
wherever they may be in the country, or wherever, they're out there getting it, man. And I'll be sitting in my recliner. I'm in my wife's what she call her diva den right now, but
Okay.
on her fancy little computer, I don't know nothing about it, but I'll be back there in the living room, and I'll just be dancing in my recliner, and I want to be there, but I can see myself doing a move to it, and even I've had dreams about it, man. You be doing some crazy stuff and tricks and this and that I sure can't do in real life, but man, it's just awesome, dude. It's definitely embedded. It's embedded in my life, and I'm thankful for it, man. It's been a real blessing.
Yeah, and those things that like, that you kind of dream up or think of, or imagine doing. I mean, even though at that moment they might not seem feasible or possible or whatever. I mean, like they lead to things, you know what I mean? Like where,
Oh yeah,
like you give it a shot, and to me, when I look at someone like you skate, I mean, like are you consciously like looking to be yourself and kind of willfully different? Like I hate using that term because I say it all the time. Like whenever somebody asks me like, well, what kind of style do you kind of, follow? Or, I kind of sarcastically, I'm always like, I just want to be willfully different. Like I'm like literally, is that like a conscious thing for you, or is it, do you not even think about it? You're just doing what you do. Like, how does that work?
I would have to say it's not really a conscious thing. I'll be out there doing some moves and this and that, and I just get lost in it. I try my best to get lost in it. And not even dancing to the beat, but also dancing to the words of a song, or a random snare or a pop, or all these beats and all. I've always found myself to be able to do something to that in between doing a bigger skate move, and it just rolls it all together. But I've never really been out there like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just kind of whatever the song calls for. If it's slow, I'm gonna try to go around slow and do some dips. Or if it's fast paced, it's on.
Yeah. What's funny is the first episode I had Lacey on, and
okay,
we were talking about how, because I had not skated for years, you know what I mean? It was like I went to college, I just stopped, and I grew up, if you want to call it that, you know what I mean, and stopped skating. Yeah. But then I got back into it, and I came back around, and now I skated New England my entire life up to that point. Now I'm in Pennsylvania, in central PA, where everything is very like group oriented and synchronized. You know what I mean? Like it's very much based on it. There's a huge long legacy of like old time shuffle, Oregon music, shuffle skating. You know what I mean? So everyone's very much on the same page doing what they do. And I look like a freak out there because I'm not falling in line with any of this. And I remember thinking to myself, because I was the same way. I was just doing, the first thing I was trying to do was kind of emulate my brother, my big brother. But yeah, just trying to, I did the same exact thing. I would try and, we would always refer to it as like lip syncing with my feet, right? Yeah. Like, so if I wasn't going to skate to the beat, I was going to skate to lyrics or a lyrical pattern, Yep. But I remember saying to Lacey, I felt like everybody I was skating with, like they had all gone to like skate college and they got like their formal education in skating, and like I had barely gotten my skate GED or something. You know what I mean? Man. And like just because, and I'll tell you, to be honest, like there was a part of me that was kind of self-conscious about it too. And and I got over that pretty quick. I met some really cool people and everything that were really encouraging, but yeah, man, I mean, it's just crazy. I really enjoy watching you. I mean, when would you say, like, did you always have that level of flexibility as far as dexterity?
I would say, got a lot more flexible, in my later teens, as I started, doing it more and more and more. But yeah, it's just kind of got with it and just kept on doing it, man, and next thing you know, I was dragging my ears on the floor and, skating backwards and jumping here and there and doing this and that and paying the floor tax when it was due.
Do you, this is a tough question. This is really
Okay.
tough. Are you able to see how people see you? Like, are you able to see, like, people watch you and they're like, oh my God, right? Like there's like, I think I even put up that one video of you and I in Kennesaw, and I put a voiceover on it. And I mean this wholeheartedly when I said, when I think of Brandon Nix, like people talk about like people being next level. And I look at you and I say, Brandon Nix is the level after that.
Oh man.
So do you see that at all? Or like, can you understand how people look at that? I mean, I'm coming off like such a fanboy right now, but the reality is, man, is that, yeah, like you're unmistakable, dude. I mean, like,
I hear you.
You must hear it a lot from people.
I do. I hear it a good bit, and everybody says I've got a unique style. But as far as really seeing what people see as I'm doing it, I'm not really looking out for that. I'm not looking for a reaction,
right,
or anything like that. I'm just looking to just get lost in it, just to get lost. And like when the music hits, man, like that's my moment to do what I need to do to escape reality a little bit,
Yeah.
Not that reality is bad, but it's just one moment where the bills don't matter, all this other stuff don't matter, mortgage don't matter, you just right there, and you got your friends around you, this and that. But I would have to say, no, I've never really tried to check out people's reactions or stuff. Like my buddy, he's like a brother to me, Jacob Gant. He's a real good fella, and also Christopher McGuire. I've skated with him for many years, all the way up until like 15 and 16. When I met Chris at the skating rink, but I've known Chris my whole life. We were in diapers together. Our families used to hang out together, and but Jacob, he would always tell me, man, if you could only see the people's reaction or their faces, right, or how they would react, and I'm just like, man, it makes me feel good, but I've never really done it for, the popularity of it, and that, I'm just old Brandon from Crawford, Alabama, trying to get down on some home built jam skates,
Yeah. No, and I never would have assumed that's what you're looking for. I more was just referring to like when people do approach you and say, "Oh my God, you're incredible."
Oh yeah.
Like are you able to be? Is it tough for you to accept that, or those compliments and all that kind of stuff?
It is tough for me to accept it because I've always tried to keep myself as humble as possible.
Okay. Yeah.
No matter, if somebody can do some crazy stuff, and I've seen some people do some crazy stuff on skates I could never do, but I probably could if I put my mind to it, but
there you go.
So I'm kind of getting in the, I'm 33 now, just turned 33 back in October. And I'm trying to be a little more conscious of how I do things and throwing my body around this and that and all. But yeah, man, I just I said I've always just done it for me and had a good time with it. But as far as the when people come up to me and they say, "Oh man, you got it going on," or "Man, you've done this, you've done that," or "I've never seen that before," it makes me feel good, because sometimes I feel like what I do is, repetitive, or I'll tell myself, yeah.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying I know how that feels. I totally get what you're saying.
I've told myself, hey, I'm doing this again, or I've done that again. And, not trying to people please, but just, I've tried to be conscious of how many times I do something a night, as far as different moves. And I don't want to, wear myself out and all and this and that. But, yeah, people, they'll come up to me and they'll say, "Man, I can't believe you do that," and I'm like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah.
It's definitely a blessing, dude.
Are you like consciously like trying to do new things and different things and kind of evolve even now?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to get the windmill down. My buddy Chris, man, he's got it down for years and years, and I've always wanted to do that, but I mean, Imagine these old long legs, just, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun, dude. I would love to try to learn to do the windmill and some other more center of the floor work. You know,
Yeah.
I've kind of got a routine on what I do, and rarely do I switch it up. But sometimes a song will come on, and then you know I'll pull something out of thin air, you know, that I hadn't done in a long time. I'm like, man, you know, this is awesome, you know, and I'll try to remember it and all. But there's moves that I've forgotten that I've done before, and there's things that I've remembered. Oh yeah, I hadn't done that in years. Let me do it again, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then that whole other aspect though of like breaking or b-boying, you know, because I remember when that kind of came about, you know, like and it got real big, like just prior to me kind of like stopping skating for a while.
Right.
My brother was a b-boy like way back in the day, and he got me turned on to that stuff. And I mean, like, you know, to think of like, you know, like a windmill or a head spin and all this stuff, but with skates on, with bricks basically on your feet, right?
Yep.
To weigh you down on top of it. Cause that's like, you can definitely tell with people, it's like, cause like when I'll see like a jam skater and be like, that dude doesn't like, he looks like he doesn't even have skates on. Like, and that's what's super impressive to me, right? It doesn't look like he has these weights. You know what I mean? Like it looks just as kind of free form or whatever. But are there people that like you seek out and watch maybe online or anything like that? Are there people that like you're like, okay, that dude is crazy. Like who does Brandon Nix look at and be like, that guy's insane? That's, you know, who do you think?
Well, I would have to say, I haven't really looked up stuff or try to follow what other people do too much. You know, I've just, like I said, I just kind of go when I get the chance and go do it. But man, there's a lot of people that are up and coming now that are, you know, that are really, really impressive, man. And one of them, man, I give a shout out to Nathan Thompson, dude. I've seen him in the middle of the floor, and he's on point. He's got some moves going on, man, and he's constantly learning. And you know, I've had many conversations with him, you know, and I've jam skated with him and this and that. But the one thing that I truly like about him is that he is very humble. You know, he's Christian like me, and I can, you know, you can just tell in his voice that he's humble and he loves what he does, man. But when he's out there, man, he gets with it, man. And I'm very impressed. You know, he's doing stuff that I haven't attempted to do in a long time, and you know, I probably won't attempt to do it. But man, you know, I'll let him get with it, man. But him and several others, man, they're just the next generation, dude. And it's real cool to see that, you know. It's just kind of like just, you know, the passing of the torch per se, you know. And I see you getting with it, man, you know, and you can totally relate to it, you know. So but yeah.
What is your home rink now?
Well, I would say Valley in Alabama, the skating rink in Valley, Alabama. It's about 45 minutes one way for me. So
okay, yeah. So I remember talking to you and you saying that like that's like the closest one to you too, right?
Well, no, Hollywood Connections is probably
okay.
about 20 minutes from me if I
okay.
you know, book it, you know, 5 over. But I don't know. It's a different vibe up there, and it's they keep the lights on a lot, and I kind of like to get lost in with it and all. And so I just choose to go to Valley, and it's a lot more. To me, it's just a lot of my skate fam is up there, you know, from the Crawford area and from Valley area and Phoenix City, Columbus area. A lot of people come there and all. So, but yeah, Valley would be my home rink.
Was there a time that you stepped away from skating at all? Like took some time off?
No, I would have to say, I've been very consistent, man. I mean, ever since I started, I wouldn't say from 5 years old, because, you know, I've got all that growing up to do and all that, but I would say probably between when I really started like jam skating and freestyling and shuffling from about 13, 14 on up until about, you know, 29, 30. I was hitting it every weekend. And then when I passed 25, 26, and I was hitting it every other weekend, guaranteed. And like right now, you know, I haven't been to an event in about 2.5 months, you know, and I got to get out there and get it, man.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Work, you know, between work and and paying the mortgage and staying busy and all that stuff and all the other things, I definitely try to not put it on the back burner because it's a part of me and it's something I love so much.
Are you the only skater in your family?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the only skater in my family. My wife, when we were dating, she come to the skating rink with me up there at the Great Skate, and she was a good sport. I'll say she was a good sport.
Yeah, I get it.
She didn't really like it too much, but she did it for me, and we had some wonderful times together, skating up there. But yeah, she said she's gonna come on back out there with me sometime next year, so I'm gonna hold her to it.
So like, what was that like the first time she sees you skate?
I don't know, man. It was just she was just blown away, and I can't believe you can do that on skates, and it was just something. I remember seeing her. I took her to the Great Skate, and she got her some rental skates. She got them tater skins on, and we got out there, and she did a few laps here and there, and then she got off to the side and she would hold on to the wall on the other side off the rink, and she would just watch me, man. And I just seeing her eyes light up and her face just light up, man. It was a blessing, man, to for her to have such an enjoyment of me enjoying it. She's definitely my rock, man. She's been a big blessing in my life, and my best friend. I'm thankful for her, man.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I can tell you too, just from watching you, it's infectious. I mean, you can tell that you're loving what you're doing. I mean, you got a smile like on ear to ear, and that stuff comes through. You know what I mean? And people pick up on that. I mean, I definitely see somebody that is essentially joyful when you're doing what you're doing, man. So, I mean, I can't think of a better reason to do something,
Right.
So when did you get into the event thing?
Oh man. Well, I was me and my brother Chris, man. He's like a brother to me, I told you before, but we would go hit up the Griffin Skate Inn, and we'd go hit up, Sparkles and Hiram and all that, and Kennesaw and all that. I would have to say probably about 10 years ago, we would start really travel skating, and seeing what's out there.
Right.
And, but these past, I'd say 4 years, I've been really hitting it hard. Trying to, get as far out as I can, and see what it's all about, man. The farthest I've been is, up there in Ohio, and it was Castle Skateland up in Ohio. Beautiful rink, huge rink. And, by far my most favorite rink, hands down, would have to be Skate Reflections in Kissimmee, Florida, man.
Oh yeah, man.
What they call base, aka Base Reflections,
Man, yeah, I love that place.
Oh, amazing, dude. The music's, that's what I look for. The music is just so loud. You can still have conversation a little bit, but we come to skate and have a good time. But the music's so loud. They got them huge speakers rolling up and down the side of the rink, man, and they're playing that Miami bass and all that good jam skating music, man. It just give me chill bumps, And it's the only bad thing about it is it's 7.5 hours one way for me,
Yeah. No, I get it.
I'm gonna get back up there one of these days, man.
We went for Memorial Day. We drove, a few of us. It was 19 hours. Yeah. So we're not driving there again.
Yeah, that was a trip, man. I have to stop every about 2 hours, and get out and just walk around. I get so stove up, just sitting still.
So what do you have a favorite event? Is there an event like you will not miss?
I would say definitely the USA Shuffle Skaters events that's up in there in March and in October. I like it because it's two of them. Because if I'm working or something, I have a chance to catch it later in the year or however that goes. But definitely the USA Shuffle Skaters event. Everybody seems to come on with it, and it's fast paced, heart pumping, music blast, and you just get lost in it, man.
I was just talking to somebody about the event, the one in March where I first met you. And I bet so it was Ray and Ed and I and a few other people, but we couldn't stay for Sunday. And I was just talking to, I think Dan Carlson, about how, and like most events that go that many days, like Sunday starts to kind of wean out, right? People start traveling.
It starts to taper off. Yeah.
But I get home, right? And I start seeing all these videos from Sparkles again on that Sunday, and you going off, right? And I remember, but I was saying to Dan, I was like, I am never going to miss another Sunday there, because although I love like that whole experience of just everybody kind of flying and those lines and all that kind of stuff, that Sunday, I could tell by what I was seeing, the floor opened up and there were all these amazing skaters still there, but they had the space and the opportunity to kind of do their thing. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. I was, you probably know what I'm talking about. You probably know exactly what that feeling's like, but.
Definitely, man. I mean, the 3-night events, man, they are just amazing, dude. But I mean, I think it was last year I don't even know how I did it, man. I got talked into going. I wanted to go Saturday, right? Okay. Saturday's like that medium, you know, everybody done got in. Yeah. So they're ready to go, you know. So Saturday we hit the floor, but my buddy Jay, he's like, yo, man, I can't go Saturday. So let's go Friday. I'm like, all right, well, we'll do 2 nights, you know. So come on up there Friday, going back to the house, you know. And then of course, I got to hit it Saturday because they got other people out there. So we're going to hit it Saturday. Yeah. That was me and Chris. We went out there and hit it Saturday. And then someone else got me talked into going Sunday. So we went Sunday. And, man, I was just wore slap out, dude. I mean, for real. I mean, I was wore slap out to a point to where my hands were just doing the moves. And I was in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. But, no, I can't do it. Not right now. You know, it takes about a week and a half, maybe sometimes 2 weeks to really recover from a big event, you know, especially if I go for like a 1 night or something and kind of give it, you know, put all the eggs in one basket per se, you know, hit it hard, you know.
Well, when I was talking to Dan about that very thing, about, you know, missing that Sunday and seeing like, you know, you and a few other guys just really kind of open up, you know, he had said, you know, because I said that would have just been the perfect opportunity to skate with Brandon. And he's like, and he says, yeah, he's like, it's hard to match his energy. And I said, yeah, I said, no, I definitely, yeah, I get that, man. I'd be chasing him. I mean, that's all there is to it. But, you know, like, yeah, I mean, because you go. It's not like you're there kind of taking some time off, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go hard. Yeah. So I was talking to, you know, Nate Edwards.
Nathan Edwards,
yeah. So he and we talk about this every time. Like anytime we're at an event together, like night one, we just kind of laugh about how during our drive there, we're trying to convince ourselves to just kind of pace ourselves, especially night one. You know what I mean? And we just laugh because we know we're not going to be able to do it, right, man? Are you the same way?
Same way, dude. Same way. When I'll be riding up with Chris or riding up with Jake, man, and I'm like, man, like let's just say if it's a 2-night event or something. Like, man, we just tonight we're gonna take our time, just get out there and just feel for it. Tomorrow night, we're gonna hit it, but tonight let's just get with it. You know, socialize a little more. You know, I love to socialize. You know, but and never fails. The moment you hit the floor, the DJ is gonna throw something on. That's going to get your blood boiling, and it's over with. And I tell myself on the way home, why did I do that? You know?
Well, I can say, you know, the other thing is too, USA was like my first kind of Southern event. Right.
Yeah.
And then we did Memorial Day down at, Skate Reflections, which I loved. And
I love that place, man.
It wasn't until we were on our way back, and I'm talking to everybody and I'm like, and it dawns on me, I didn't get off that floor. Like one time. And here's the thing. I mean, like, yeah, of course James, Mayhem, you know what I mean? They're killing it the whole time. They're keeping people moving.
Dude. Yeah.
But, you know, and so all credit to them, but there's also like just a positive energy and vibe from all the staff, everybody that's there, that like made it almost effortless. You know what I'm saying? I literally would just get off the floor, chug water, get back on the floor.
Right back on it. Yeah.
And I don't know how I did it, but I literally think I just kind of got caught up in this energy that just gets created, you know? I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but
No, it totally does make sense. It makes a lot of sense, man. I've done that so many times. I tell myself, oh, well, a 3-hour session, that's a good session. A 4-hour session, that's a real good one too, where you can get some socializing in, and then you can hit it, pretty hard. But man, next thing you know, it's over with, and that's always with me. You get out there and 3 hours have passed, 4 hours have passed. I've got off one time to maybe, chug-a-loo on some water and, and go in there, maybe go wash my hands, checking I got eyelashes always falling in my eyes, no long eyelashes of mine. Every time, man, it never fails. I'll be at an event and I'll be like, oh man, I keep it closed, and I'll go around and go there, wash my hands, and I'll find it, get back with it, man.
I never would have I never thought I'd hear that.
That wind, man, that wind gets to get yeah. I'll be going around and I'll do something. I'm like, oh crap, keep it closed, don't lose it, Brandon, otherwise it'll roll back, and then you either got to go home with it or skate with it for how long, until it rolls back around. But I go back there to the skate mirror. I take my phone and get my phone from my backpack. I don't keep nothing in my pockets. I sit there, and I'll pull my eyelid down, and oh, there it is. Whoop, in the meantime, the disco lights flashing and people flying by.
You're talking about it like they're contact lenses.
No, dude. These eyelashes, man, my wife's jealous of them. She always says, why can't I have eyelashes like that? And baby, you can have them,
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
That's just the cards I was dealt. It is what it is.
That's funny, dude.
All the time, man. I always got an eyelash following my eyes.
I'm sorry. Oh, man.
Dude. I think myself, where's the nearest mirror, Let me get a truck mirror. I'll be up there in the excavator or something. I'll be out there to be checking it out. All right, I'll get back to work,
So what is it that you do, like, for work?
I do road building for the Highway Department of Russell County.
Okay.
I'm always on an excavator, operating motor graders, front end loaders, backhoes, dozers, all that stuff, man. We keep the roads up for the people of Russell County, man. I sure do enjoy it. I started that job exactly 6 months ago, 2 days ago. And
okay.
Yeah. So it's been a blessing, man. I've always been into heavy equipment my whole life. My grandfather started me up in it when I was about 12 or 13. He put me in a Cat 325 excavator out there pushing pine trees, and next thing as the years go by, I'm digging ponds with him and tearing down old juke joint houses down there in Phoenix City, all the old shotgun houses and stuff. And it's just been a blessing, man. He's taught me a lot. My grandfather's taught me a whole lot, a lot of good life skills that I'll have the rest of my life,
There's a lot to be said, like, for manual labor, man. I mean, like, I tell you what, I became a desk jockey, and when I started, like, when we bought this house and I just started working on my own, and I just started buying I put a whole shop together downstairs and
right.
And just started, like, woodworking like crazy. I just couldn't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like that good tired, you know what I mean? Like that good fulfilled thing, and being able to take a step back and be like, and kind of think of something or have an idea, but just will it into existence. You know what I mean? Like there's it's never, ever since it became a thing in my life, like 10 years ago, it just never went away. It's an expensive hobby to get into.
Oh yeah.
But someone told me you were a farmer or something like that.
Yeah, I've got some property out here in Crawford. It's 22 acres out here, and I'm all the time cutting it. It ain't nothing but bahia grass, and it's all the time, keeps me busy. I'll get on the tractor and cut, and it take about a week and a half, 2 weeks to take my time and do it in sections, and then by the time you get done with this one section, this one's growing back up. So at the summertime, it's just full throttle, man, full throttle. And this is the only time of year I really kind of get to catch my breath and do a lot of bush hogging on the property. And,
a lot of what?
Bush hogging.
Okay, you're gonna have to.
Well, I use a finish mower on the back of my tractor. It's essentially like a zero turn. It gets it real good and clean. But you got the diesel power, and it cuts it good and clean, like it would a zero turn. And then all for the more nastier stuff. Stuff's got some saplings and little pines and stuff growing up in it that I don't cut until the end of the year. I use the bush hog for, and then I'll be doing that all up until springtime, just kind of playing catch up here and there, and then it all starts over again, man. But
Yeah,
I love it, dude. I've done it, I've done it my whole life, man. I've been cutting grass for my grandfather. He used to own it, and it was his, and I've basically was, I was born and raised out here on this land, and it's been such a blessing. And like I said, always staying busy cutting it. There's always something to do. I always tell myself, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So
yeah.
it's a blessing, man. I'm so thankful that the Lord gave me the opportunity to buy it from him back in 2017. My wife and I, we bought the land from him, and just ain't nothing changed with ownership, and still cutting it, keeping it up.
Nice.
It's been truly a blessing. I'm so thankful for sure.
That's awesome. So I gotta ask. So you're working with this crew, right? Heavy equipment. You work with these guys. Like, so is there ever like a thing? Is like, okay, guys, see you guys later. I'm going roller skating now. Like, is it ever come? Like, look, I've literally been just in an office with a bunch of dudes and like literally felt the wrath of someone being like, you hear Vash on roller skates, you know what I mean? So like, has that ever been a thing?
Well, I didn't say nothing, when I first started. I'm just like, it comes out, it comes out,
Right.
But I wasn't going to say nothing. And then a couple of the friends, they friended me on Facebook. Well, here we go. They gonna find it, It's all in good fun,
Right.
And man, I tell you what, they were just baffled, man.
Blown
they
away,
loved
right?
it. How in the world, this old tall lanky fella be doing this stuff? You would never expect it, And
yep.
They'll look at the video and they'll look back at me, look at the video, and they're like, "Is this the same person?" But it literally took about, I'd say, 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before word got out. And I mean, everybody in the whole department, they're all like, "Man, that's just so cool." And then they talk about how they used to skate back in their day, and they do all this and that, and they asked me, "Are you going somewhere this weekend?" I said, "Maybe, maybe not. I don't. It just depends if something's going on,
Well, there's probably, I mean, there very much is like a sleeper kind of element to this where you wouldn't put it together, right? You wouldn't think like, here comes this guy. Like, you probably, and like, you probably don't even notice it a lot of times, but you go to like a new rink.
Yeah.
And, there's like this thing that happens from somebody that might notice you in the parking lot versus when they notice you out of like, they're just like, what? Do you ever pick up on that at all? I know you're not looking for it, but I mean,
there's been several instances where I'll see that, where I'll, they'll see me come up and they'll see my skates, and it's kind of like a, not a thrown together skate. It's a Diamond Walker, skate, and it's got a Reactor Neo frames, and it's just got some aggressive inline wheels. They're smaller wheels, so they don't get wheel bite. When you skate, you don't want to clip your wheel and go sailing, But I'll hear people say something, or they'll say, "Man, he's look at them skates," or this and that, or "Man, he's tall," or this and that, and we'll get out there, and all of a sudden, within 5 minutes, people they'll have their phones out and recording, and talking and pointing, and I'm like, and I see it, but I choose to. I don't really acknowledge it because I'm not looking for, I'm not looking. I'm just out there on me, man. Just trying to get it. But I do get a kick out of it because they never expect it. They never expect it. People all the time tell me, "Oh, you play basketball. You play every time. You play basketball, this and that." And I said, "No, and then I don't really get into the jam skating conversation too much, because it's either in passing or at a gas station or somewhere or whatever. But sometimes I'll tell them, and especially places I'll go multiple times, and eventually they'll find out, and they're like, "Oh my gosh,"
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's a blast, dude.
It's funny because, so like I said, my entire life skating was in New England, and I lived, when I moved to PA for school and then stayed here, I hadn't skated ever. Right. But I built an entire life here. Right. Yeah. Like friends, and I got married and basically established like new family here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I got back into it, it was like, you know, because you kind of like, I mean, there was a little bit of adjustment, obviously, you know, like kind of finding my bearings, but you know, I was able to pick up pretty quick again. And I remember like, because I know that I had conversations with friends, like Pennsylvania friends, I guess, over the years, and like, oh yeah, I used to skate, but everybody says that, right? Everyone, like roller skating, like it's funny thing about roller skating is the only thing where like even if you only ever went to like birthday parties when you were a kid randomly at a rink, like you like those people will still say, oh yeah, I used to skate. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like the only, but anyway. So I think that people just kind of like assumed that it was like that, right? And then like I never even posted the first video. I didn't even know it was out there. Someone was just following me around. But I remember my friends, like my really close friends here seeing this stuff for the first time. My one friend Ben was like, bro, like, did you get bitten by a spider or something? Like, what the happened here? Like, what is this? What are you doing? Like, didn't make any sense to him. And I'd say, well, yeah, but I told you I used to skate. Yeah, but bro, I used to skate. But like, what are you doing, man? Like, it was just so funny, man, because people just don't, you know, and I get it. Most people don't do that. But I don't know, man. It's just always hilarious to me. But
I catch that a lot, man. I see a lot. In many conversations of people who say, you know, like they've used to skate and all. Some of them they used to be on a speed team, or they would do derby, or like you said, birthday parties, or random weekend here and there. You know, so I definitely know where you're coming from on that. You know,
is there like do you have like some go-to songs? Is there like a song that's like oh yeah, man, or does that switch up or for you or?
There's really not a go-to song. It's mainly the beats, man. It's just like you get out there and you get to skating to some, you know, some 2 Live Crew and you know, I don't know. There's so many people, you know, Africa Bambaataa and a lot of the old school jam skating music, you know, and it's just something about it, man. It's got to have that beat, you know. Today's music to me, it you know, and of course this is just probably a lot of people's opinion, but you know, it doesn't really resonate with me too much.
Yeah,
the stuff from the late '90s and early 2000s is, you know, the rave stuff, or the, you know, the high, you know, BPMs and all that stuff, man. It just definitely gets me. But yeah, man, I'd say, you know, 2 Live Crew, Poison Clan. I think I've already mentioned Africa Bambaataa. Goodness, I can go on and on, dude. I should have wrote a list.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's a lot of them, dude.
What did you say the name of the rink is? That's like 45 minutes from you.
That's it's called the Skating Rink. It's in Valley, Alabama.
Okay. So what is like, what's kind of the vibe there? Like musically, does it switch up a lot? Do they do a variety? Is it?
They switch it up a little bit. It's not really like a live DJ type thing. You know, they'll get the computer going and they'll get it going. And the main time I really only go there is for the once a month adult night, you know?
Okay.
But, man, I'm telling you, they play some great music, man. Stuff that I can definitely get lost in. The floor itself is great. They resurfaced it not too long ago. And, me, you know, I when I'm walking, I got a 4.5 foot stride, you know, just walking. just sitting there, just chugga-lugging along, you know. But you know, so I'll get around it, you know, rather quickly, you know. But that's never really been a problem, you know.
2 crossovers and you get the length of a ring.
Yeah, you be sitting there, you be hitting it, you know. All of a sudden, 1, 2, you know, you're left, right. Here come the turn. Left, right. Here comes the turn.
How big is the floor? Would you say?
I really can't say. It was about the same size as my used to be home rink, which was Great Skate, you know, back then, Skaterama.
Compare it to Kissimmee, let's say.
Oh, okay. About half the size.
Okay.
Yeah, about half the size of Kissimmee. It's got like a, I don't know what they call it. It's like a concrete floor. It's like gray. You know, it's a gray floor. So I mean, you definitely get a workout on it. You know, the wood floor. I like the wood floor because especially a rotunda wood floor, because it just pulls you. You know, you be skating, all of a sudden you feel your wheels, you know, it's just something about it, you know. But those will kind of pull you around. You know, it's not too much effort, but like the concrete floors, stuff like that, you know, that you have to work a little harder on them, but man, it's definitely worth it. The vibe up there is just amazing. There's so many people up there from my skate family. You know, we have such a wonderful time, and it's always a blast. Somebody's always going live up there, and I'll see it, you know, and I haven't been able to go the last two months, you know, because of work or different situations, but Lord willing, I ain't gonna miss it this month. So
yeah, you know, it's funny is like I came up in this little podunk rink, like it's called the Sanford Family Skate Center in Southern Maine. And it was one of those blue floors, tiny little place, right?
Right.
And they played everything. Like in Maine, so I don't know if you've ever skated New England or anything like that, but it is the opposite of when it comes to like the shuffling kind of experience in the South. It's the complete opposite of that.
Okay.
It is the most random collection of music and songs that you could ever hear. Okay. We're talking anything from like, they'll play like, I don't know, some 80s Whitney Houston, and then go to like some Creedence Clearwater Revival. And then they'll go to like, you know,
I can hear that now, man.
Just all over the place, right? I was just talking to Rob McGarrigle about this because, you know, he came up there too, and we actually just went on a little trip together up there. But
okay,
but like that, and like they don't like the DJs aren't mixing. Okay,
yeah.
So like if
click and play,
yeah, it's like a full album cut of a song. So like it's funny, like we were talking about how if there's a song on the album cut that has like some 45-second, 60-second echo chamber intro, they're going to play that whole thing.
It's going to be there.
Yeah. Now, but the thing is that between that thing that like where the music was all over the place.
Yeah.
It really kind of like shaped, I think, myself as a skater. You know what I mean? Like, cause I just had to figure out how to skate to everything. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have like, there wasn't just like, there wasn't a skate DJ. It was kids that worked at that rink that got a job and then became the next DJ. Like nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand, man.
On a tiny floor. So people always say to me, like they're like, sometimes your feet are like, your footwork's really, really fast. And I always say like, well, I didn't have a lot of straightaway. Right. Yeah. It's like I was trying to get as much in as possible before I got a turn again. It sounds like your floor was probably about the same size as mine.
Yeah, it was around there the same way. You know, Great Skate was basically the same size as you know, as Southern Valley. You know, it's the same thing. You know, it don't take long for you to get to the turn, but you know, and then next thing you know, you're back in the straightaway. So,
oh no, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I'm saying it's pretty quick. You know, but especially as you get older, you know, and you realize, you know, that this rink isn't as big as you know, you just keep on rolling with it, you know. No pun intended. No pun.
Yeah. I would give anything to be able to walk back into the rink that I grew up in. It's no longer there.
Yeah.
It's but I can't. But just hearing you talk about like, you know, looking at it from, you know, an adult perspective, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And I'd probably cry, but like, you know what I mean? If I walk back in there.
I totally agree, dude. I've had dreams about my old rink, man, and you know, you wake up from it the next morning, you know, and you're like, dang, man, you know, it feels like it never closed. You know, everything that I've come to do now, and that, you know, I've done in the past, all that, it all started right there, every bit of it, you know, and I kind of I've got some videos from there, you know, from when we were doing the jam skating and stuff, and. You know, I've even seen videos from back when it was Skaterama, and it's just that rink right there is what really made Phoenix City just everybody have a good time. You know, mom and daddy, they'll drop you off, you know, $5-10 in your pocket, and you know, get out there and skate. You know, it wasn't a bunch of walking around with your socks on or anything like that, or all kinds of wild mess. People come there to skate and they get out there on the floor. You know, it was just a lot of fun, man. I've had so many dreams about that place, and you know,
the
crazy,
place, the place I came up in. I mean, it was every kind of like significant rite of passage you can have as a kid coming up. I mean, happened there. I had my first kiss there. I had my first girlfriend there. I had my first breakup there. I had my first, just so much. I mean, I literally like my, like we went there and took pictures like from my prom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah, man.
And nobody else, I was the only one in my high school that skated, like in my class. You know what I'm saying? So like I was literally dragging friends to the
hey, come on, man, let's go down with it, dude. I promise we'll have a good time.
Yeah, man.
You got to try it for sure, dude.
But I get it though, man. I mean, I understand. Like, I'm so passionately connected to that place forever. I mean, the owners, they were super. Like, I mean, I'm the youngest of three. My older brother worked there, then my sister, and then me. I mean, this is like our family, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So forgive me if I'm like completely ignorant to any of this at all, but like, was there any competitive aspect of skating for you, whether it was jam, speed, anything like that? Did you do anything like that?
No, I never really got into the competition side of it.
Okay.
To me, that didn't bring me any joy.
Okay.
Because I don't know. It's not a fact that I couldn't do it or this and that.
Right.
It was just always it's like, come on, man. Like let's me against you, this and that. Let's just have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's about. But no, I've never really gotten into the competition thing. I've done some jam skating battles before, but it was all in good fun.
Right, right.
Yeah, never really gotten into it to a point to where it would be like a job. If somebody were to have come up to me when I was younger or this and that, or, say, hey, you want a sponsorship? I probably would not have done it just because I didn't want it to feel like a job, man. I've always found that, when you're not controlled by something, you can really enjoy it, and I didn't want to be like, oh, I got to go skating, or I got to get this move down, or I got these people looking on me or looking to see what I can do next, or who can I, skate against next. It's never been about that for me. It's always been about the joy aspect of it, the random songs coming up and just a burst of energy and just everybody laughing, having a good time, man. That's what it's always been about, dude. Everybody has their own style. And if we were all the same, how boring would we be, Everybody brings something to the table, man. And that's what I love about it is this person does this person does that. And at the end of the day, we're still there.
Yeah.
Having a good time, I love it, man.
Yeah. I tell you, I kind of, there's a few things my dad always said to me, that always stick with me. And it used to come up with the skating thing, cause I don't remember who, I think it might've been Dominion. I don't even know if you've ever heard of Dominion or not, but like,
I haven't, but
they made boots back in the day. It was, but like there was a rep there and I remember him talking to the rink owner and asking about me or something like that. I think I was like 15 or something like that.
Right.
And I remember telling my dad about it. Nothing ever came of it. I don't even know how legit it was. Yeah. But I was talking to my dad about it. And although my dad had never skated in his life, couldn't relate to wanting to skate in any way, shape, or form, right? Like,
right.
But he knew what it meant to me.
That's right.
And one of the things he said to me, and it stuck with me, probably because it was related to skating, it stuck with me maybe more than anything he'd ever told me, was just never forget, you take a man's money, you got to take his bad ideas too. And I thought, oh man, like I got it instantly. And what's funny is if it was related to anything else, I might not have connected it. But this meant so much to me that I got it. Like I understood. It was like, this might change everything I love about this. That's what it has the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
And for me, especially in the sense where, and I always sound so cheesy when I'm talking about skating. I sound so corny and whatever, right? Man. But like, it is the most authentic aspect of who I am. It's the most, it is the most honest way that I know how to be.
That's right.
And I don't know, like I always say to people, I don't know what that says about me in my personal life. Right. but I do know that when I'm doing that and everything that you're talking about, getting lost in a song. I mean, surrounded by people, but completely alone.
100%, dude.
You know,
right.
and
you're in your own world.
Yeah, and it's not about being confident in what I'm doing. It's about being at peace and comfortable with who I am in that moment. And I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to be anybody else. It's just the most honest version of me I can ever do. I don't know if that makes any sense to you at all, or.
No, it makes a lot of sense to me, dude. It's like I said, you're out there, you get lost in the sauce, man. You are your genuine self, and it can't be hidden. It can't be hidden. You can go out there to the rink, and there's been plenty of times, man, where I would go skating sometimes, and I'd have something, I'd have a rough day at work, or I'd have something, and stuff would be on my mind, but the moment you let that go, or a certain song comes on, man, it's out the door. It's just you, the floor, whatever you can think of in that moment, dude. It's just so freeing, and it, like you said, it's your true, authentic self, 100%. You can definitely see it.
So what's the next, any idea what 2025 looks like for you for events at all? Are you even thinking about it? Do you have some ideas?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. Every year, I tell myself I want to go to the Texas event.
Yeah, man.
And every year, it comes up so quick, and it's good ways from me. It's showing up a good way from you.
Yeah.
And, but man, I really would love to do that. And, unfortunately this year I won't be able to make that happen, but next year I'm going to try to go to the Texas one, because, they come to us, they come to our events, and, and show support and love and all. And I'd love to do the same thing for sure. And, as far as other events, definitely want to try to hit the March event for the Shuffle Skaters. And, really want to go down to Kissimmee again, man. And during their Memorial Day skates.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because they do one at the beginning and the end of the summer. So I probably won't be able to make both, but you tell me which one you're going to be at, and that's what I'm going to.
Whichever the one is, if it's up there in Kissimmee, I'm gonna try to go to that one. The one that's gonna be closest to us this year, whatever that may be. I really don't keep up with that stuff too much. I really rely on people posting stuff, and I'll scroll. I'm like, oh yeah, man. Let me jot that down on the calendar, or make a mental note of it or something. I can't do that. I'll probably forget it. But I'll drop that down on the calendar, let it be, But yeah, man, I rely heavily on that. Try to whenever somebody posts, hey, we got this coming up in 2 months. Okay, I'm gonna put that one down, or so on and so forth.
So how close are you to am I saying it right? Dothan? Like that?
What's that?
Dothan, Alabama? Isn't
No,
there?
I'm in Crawford.
Okay. But so how far are you from there?
From Dothan, I'm about an hour and a half.
Okay. So do you hit that event?
Not too much. I mean, I'd love to go to it. It's just one of them events that kind of, slipped my mind a little here and there. It might be a little more than an hour and a half away from me, but it's not that long at all, man. It's not that long to drive at all. And other rinks, the Sparkles, and Hiram, that's a 2-hour drive. I always say anything, like these big events, it's going to be 2 hours or more, no matter what, of a drive. So
that's pretty good though, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just talking to Rob, cause I mean, whether, and you're not too far off either. I mean, but cause
I have a good choice, but
you're right in a hub, man, of some crazy rinks, dude. Not that far,
sure.
That's gotta be so cool.
Yeah, man, it's not too bad. I always joke around. I say, once you get in the car and you get your butt numb for about an hour, then you're good to go, and then about, get on out and stretch your legs again. And next thing you know, you're there, So
who is cause I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of you with a crew, in the matching shirts or something like, is there what's the local crew, I guess, or skate crew or fam that you?
Well, up there in Valley, we have this thing. It's called a Generation Skate up there in Valley. And, but I don't really know I wouldn't really how do I say this? It wasn't like a crew. I mean, it's just kind of we all get together.
Yeah,
You
no, I
know,
get it. Yeah.
they have shirts and all. They have shirts and all that stuff and that. And I need to get me one day. But you know, maybe I'll try to see if I can get one up there when I go this month. You know, for our adult night. But yeah, they make some awesome shirts, man, and a lot of them I've noticed that you know that they're traveling a lot more too. You know, they're coming from Valley all the way, you know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to all these, you know, these events here and there. So yeah, they're definitely getting out with it, man. I love to see that, man. It puts a lot of joy, you know.
If I could do every one, I would, man. But it's just, you know,
you got to pick and choose. I mean, it's, you know, it's, you got to say, you know, you got to weigh it out, you know, how far it is, or a hotel room, or, you know, who can I stay with, or this and that and all. What event's going to be the most, you know, get down with it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so my thing was, especially when I first started doing it, it was like my first priority was, one, I didn't know a lot of people. So it was just about the kind of bucket list of rinks. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like, where do I really want to skate? And now that I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I'm glad to say this. I'm glad I can say this. Now it's become more of a thing when I'm trying to weigh these options about where can I go where I'm going to see the most people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm going to reconnect with the most people. And I don't know, man, I, you know, you were talking about kind of like the community and all these, and the people that you meet. And the most amazing part about it is, you know, it's like definitely we're a group, no matter what, that like would normally not mix in any other aspect of life. You're not going to see us together. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
true. Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's, I don't know, man. I'm just so grateful I was able to get back into it. But is there anything that you wanted to throw out there? Anything that you wanted to say? Anything you wanted to mention or whatever?
No, nothing off the top of my head, man. I'm just, you know, I will say this though. I remember like the first time when I was, I had seen some of your videos, you know, skating and stuff, and I was like, who is this Mark Magoo? You know, what is this? You know? And loved your videos, man. You getting down with it. You've got your style, just like I've got my style. And
no, not just like you got your style.
Well, I tell you what, man, is you know, you definitely know how to skate and get down with it for sure. But I knew you were going to be up at that event, you know, that when we first met. Mm-hmm. And to me, you know, honestly, man, I was just like, man, I'm finna meet Mark. You know, I'm like,
oh, dude,
I'm for real. I didn't know what it was going to be like. You know, I've seen more of your videos and stuff and what you did and all. I was just genuinely excited to skate with you and meet you. And, you know, like the same way you're talking, man. I'm dead serious, dude.
I can't see it.
I'm dead serious, man. I met you, man, and you know you're really down to earth, just like me. And you know, we clicked, we hit off, we out there skating, and you know, you pick up. You know, we out there skating, and I'm doing something, and you'll fall right in, or you're doing something, and I'll fall right into you, man. Yeah, I sure did enjoy the first time I got to meet you, man.
I really did. So yes, it was absolutely the highlight of my weekend. Like I just put a promo out. Did you see the one where I was talking about that with Dan Carlson?
I hadn't seen it, but
I was wondering if you were going to see it because I was literally talking about this. Earlier when I mentioned about how I was talking about missing that Sunday, you know, he and I were discussing that, and I had said about, you know, and sure enough, I see these videos from Sunday, and there's Brandon Nix out there, but I'm telling him about, I'm so sorry, but because I just get lost in this conversation, right? So I'm telling him, I'm like, so yeah, but because I had met him the first time on the Friday at Kennesaw, and I'm standing there waiting to get on the floor, and I hear this, Mark Magoo? And I turn around and I'm like, oh, it's Brandon Nix, right? You know, but yeah, man. So like I did kind of a little impersonation, but it was all in love, dude. It was nothing but love. I promise you that. But dude, I was telling him how, because you were just so friendly and so just so kind and way too complimentary. where I was telling Dan, I'm like, yeah, and he's saying like, oh, I've been waiting to skate with you, and I'm like, stop it, no, that's not how. No, I'm the one that says this to you, dude. Like that's not how this goes, right? But
go ahead.
I had such a good time. I really did.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the time where, yeah, I get to skate with you again and in a more open situation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Same here, buddy, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. To get out there and jam skate or shuffle skate, whatever the music calls for. You know, that's the best thing about it, man. You just never know. You know.
I remember you saying, so like, what do you do? Like, what's your? I'm like, I don't know. I do what I do. Like, and all of a sudden, and I was like, oh no, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I don't ever, and like, I never like get weird about that kind, but yeah, right. Like I said, I totally knew I was going to come off like a complete fanboy in this conversation.
No, dude. I'm telling you, it was the opposite, man. I didn't know I didn't know what to expect, man. I was just like, this dude's got some awesome videos. He done come down all the way, you know, up down here to, what was it? It was Kennesaw, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah, come all the way down to Kennesaw, man, and you know, for sure, dude. I was really excited to meet you, man, and to get up to skating with you, man. Just get down with it for sure.
You know, what was so scary about that was, that was the first time I'd skated since fractured my ankle.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I had slipped on the ice. And fractured my ankle. And here's because this is how, like, I'm crazy, right? Like where it was like about 40 days prior to the USA event. And that was going to be my first event. And I had already planned it, the whole thing. I slip, I fall. And I heard it, felt it, but I just hopped right back up. Right. And I'm like, nope. I'm like out in the street, like out loud. I'm like, I must have looked like an insane person, right? Because I'm just like, nope, I'm good. And I'm trying to walk it off, and it just wasn't happening, right?
Oh, man.
And of course, and I can imagine you might be able to relate to this, but my first thought is I'm not gonna be able to skate now. And also about USA. And my whole thing was about trying to heal up to get there. And I tell you what, I would never, ever be concerned about being able to keep up there.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty crazy situation to test out your ankle. You know what I mean? Like,
You get out there right off the bat, and everybody's just hauling buggy, man. They're just getting with it, man.
Well, because in my mind, because people were like, well, why don't you, go to the rink like the week before, test it out. I said, no, because if I'm going to mess it up, I'd rather it be, at least I got a couple laps in maybe in Georgia. Yeah. I'm not missing that, man. I'm not going to miss it.
That's right, man.
Oh man. Well, I tell you what, man, I don't have any more. We've done like an hour and 15. This has been really, really good.
I see. Yeah. The time just got to moving, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know if there's anything you want to throw out there, anything you want to say, any last comments, whatever. Floor is yours.
Oh man, I really can't think of nothing, man. I've just enjoyed the podcast, and I sure do appreciate you having me on it, man. It's awesome, dude. First time I ever done something like this before, so
awesome, man. You did great, man. This was I couldn't have went better.
Heck yeah, man.
I'm very, very grateful that you did this. People are going to tune in. People are going to like this. I tell you, people love them some Brandon Nix.
Oh man, look at him.
All right, man. Well,
I still appreciate your time, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for doing it. I can't wait to see you again, man. We'll keep in touch and hopefully be able to figure out the next time we'll be skating in the same place.
Sounds good to me, brother. I look forward to it, man. You take care, buddy.
All right, man. You too. Have a good night.
You too, man. Have a good one now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.